All right, welcome back to WMMA Scene Now with your host, Chuck Stevenson, and welcome to episode number 76 of the WMMA Scene Report, our regular show where we go over everything going on within the world of women's mixed martial arts. Should be a fairly short episode, so let's get down into it. We're going into this past weekend's review. First up, we're going to Bellator number 249. Had one ladies bout in the main event featherweight championship. Chris Cyborg defeated Arlene Angerfist Blenko via submission at 2 minutes 36 seconds of the second round. Cyborg improved to 3-2 or 23-2. Blenko fell to 13-8. Typical Cyborg fight. You don't go in there expecting, super amazing technique. You pretty much expect her to go in there and storm her opponents and dust them out. And that's basically what she did, except this time she took Blenko down. She had Blenko basically out on her feet and could have taken her out, but she chose to take her down and got the back and got the rear naked choke in for the first submission of her career. So I guess Cyborg actually has learned something for once. Next up, on Friday night, was LFA number 93, had one ladies bout in the co-main event, a 120-pound catchweight bout. Sam Hughes defeated Danielle Hindley via submission due to guillotine choke. Actually, it was a technical submission due to guillotine choke at the end of the first round. Hughes fell to 5-1. Hindley climbed to Hughes climbed to 5-1. Hindley fell to 4-2. Y'all got to go watch this fight. It is on UFC Fight Pass. Hughes choked Hindley out cold. I mean, executioner style. John Jones versus Machida, guillotine style. Hughes went from getting choked out in her last fight to doing the choking out in this one. You got to go watch that one. And then Saturday morning in the U.S., over in South Korea, was ARC number 3, had one ladies bout in the strawweight division. Shin Yu-jin defeated Kim Yu-jung via split decision. Shin climbed to 3-0. Kim fell to 0-1. Nice performance there for Shin. Had it about even going into the third round, and this is only 3-minute rounds with only a 30-second time allowed on the ground. But Shin just kept taking Kim down in the third round, which racked up the points to get to the decision. Nice work by her coach there in between rounds, telling her just take her down, don't even mess with her on the feet, because Kim was easily Shin's equal on the feet, if not better. And then finally, on Saturday night was UFC Fight Night. Ortega versus Korean Zombie had a pair of ladies bouts. First up at flyweight, Gillian Robertson defeated Poliana Botelho via unanimous decision. Robertson climbed to 9-4. Botelho fell to 8-3. Robertson, I had to give Botelho the first round, but Robertson really took over with her takedowns and submissions in the second and third round. Very dominant performance, after that iffy first round for Gillian Robertson. Still needs to, really get through some hard sparring rounds to get used to being hit and to improve her striking. She really is coming off as like a specialist or one-dimensional fighter right now, but it's working for her so far. She is now the winningest fighter, or she has the most wins currently in the UFC women's flyweight division. And then also at flyweight in the co-main event, Jessica Andrade defeated Katlyn Chookagian via TKO with a hook to the body, 4 minutes, 55 seconds of the first round. Andrade just came up and destroyed Chookagian. Made it look easy. Hit her with a hook to the body that had Chookagian retreating to the other side of the cage. Andrade followed her up, landed another hook to the body that just saw Chookagian crumple. I mean, the fact that she survived the first shot to the liver like that, gotta respect Chookagian, but can't blame her for crumbling on the second one. Andrade just came up, made a big statement in her third weight division she's competing in. Wow, Jessica Andrade, what a performance for her. So that was it for this past weekend's fight. So let's get into this week's news. First up, UFC has an event going down on February 13th. They added a strawweight bout between Polyana Viana, 11-4, taking on Mallory Martin, 7-3. Should be an interesting one there. And then UFC 254 goes down next week. Cynthia Calvillo is out due to catching COVID. Replacing her against Lauren Murphy is going to be Lilia Shakarova. Murphy's 13-4, Shakarova's 8-1. We're going to go over that bout in just a little bit. Actually, that's this weekend, not next weekend. Pancrase 320 goes down December 13th in Japan. They added a women's bantamweight bout between Yoko Higashi and now team date 0-3. Higashi's coming in 4-2, Date's coming in 0-3. And then UFC has an event on February 6th. They've added a pair of ladies bouts. First up at bantamweight, Nico Montano coming in 4-3. She's taking on Carol Hossa coming in 13-3. That is much needed wins for Montano there if she can get it. And then at flyweight, Molly McCann coming in at 10-3, taking on Lara Procopio coming in at 6-1. And then UFC also has an event going down on January 23rd, which has a flyweight bout between Jessica Ai, 15-8, taking on Joanne Calderwood, 14-5. Battle of two highly ranked flyweight fighters there. And then UFC 256 goes down December 12th. They added a strawweight bout. Tisha Torres coming in 11-5, taking on Angela Hill coming in at 12-9. Nice rematch here between these two. They met back in 2015 in Mexico City. I expect a very different bout to their first one. Maybe not a different result, but definitely a different bout compared to how their first one went. Then at Bellator 250 goes down October 29th. They added a flyweight bout. Vida Ortega coming in at 5-4, taking on Desiree Yanez coming in at 5-2. Yanez moving up to flyweight for the first time and making her Bellator debut. She's coming in formerly from Combate Americas. And then finally in the news, world number 1 ranked atomweight Sahi Ham has vacated the Ryzen Super Atomweight title and now I believe the Road FC Atomweight title as well. She has been picked up by One Championship and is expected to join their Atomweight Grand Prix, which is contested at 52 kilograms. That's scheduled to start in January, although no participants have been announced yet. Did a couple of videos on this one. First, I made a video about, Ham vacating the Ryzen belt and leaving them, and then it came out within like 3 days later that Ham has been picked up by One. Now, that has not been made official by One Championship, but it's basically, everybody knows it now. So, if you get a chance, please go check out those 2 videos. Which brings us to the rankings updates. Nothing out of One Championship yet, and I don't expect anything out of them for a while. So let's go check out the UFC rankings here. Close this ad. Okay, first up at flyweight. Jessica Andrade is still ranked, even though she made her flyweight debut. She moved down to number 3, and Joanna moved up to number 2. That's stupid. Just remove Andrade from the rankings, period. She's now at flyweight. And then Mackenzie Dern moved up 1 spot to number 12, replacing Angela Hill, who moved down to number 13, because, tits matter. And then at flyweight, so Jessica Andrade made her debut, successful debut against the former number 1 contender, Katlyn Chookagian. So Jessica Andrade went from unranked to number 1, moving just about everybody below her down 1 notch. Now, Gillian Robertson moved up 3 spots from 15 to 12. Now, Alexis Davis moved down 2 spots. Montana De La Rosa moved down 2 spots. Antonina Shevchenko moved down 2 spots. And Alexa Grasso is no longer ranked at flyweight. So that was it for the UFC rankings updates. No surprise with the moves at flyweight. The ones at strawweight, though, just, that's why I call it the fuckery, because you never know what's going to happen with those rankings. So let's move on into this weekend's preview. 3 events featuring ladies bouts this weekend that I have marked. Let's get into it. First up, at Icon FF number 2, going down in Mexico, we have a bantamweight bout. 2 ladies making their pro debut. Bella Mir, the daughter of former UFC heavyweight champ Frank Mir, taking on Danielle Wynn. Now, as I said, both ladies are making their pro debut. As for stats, Wynn is the older fighter, 33 years to Mir's 17 years. I don't have anything else for Mir. Wynn is listed at 5 feet 4 inches, 163 centimeters. I'm not going to make a pick on this one just because I don't know. I mean, I've seen some wrestling and grappling videos of Mir. Haven't seen anything on Danielle Wynn. When was the last time she fought? She last fought an amateur fight 7 months ago. I don't think Mir has done any amateur fights. So I'm just not going to make a pick on this one. Now, this fight is should be available on UFC Fight Pass. I believe this Icon Fighting Federation is one of theirs because it's co-promoted with Roy Jones Jr. Promotions. Then in Brazil is going to be Tara MMA 10. They're going to have a strawweight title fight. Yasmin Castaño taking on Bellator veteran Bruno Vargas. Vargas coming in the elder fighter, 31 to Castaño's 24. Castaño, the current champ, is coming off of a win via armbar in her title fight back in March. Vargas is coming in at 4-3. She's coming in off of a TKO win at that same event. That was Tara MMA number 9. Don't have any other stats for Castaño. Vargas is listed with a height of 5 feet 5 inches, 165 centimeters. Vargas also has a reach of 63 inches, 160 centimeters. Again, this is another fight. I just haven't seen anything on Castaño. Vargas, I haven't seen her fights since Bellator, where she underperformed, underwhelmed. But if she's fighting at strawweight now, then it probably means that, she was undersized. So I'm not making a pick for this one. And then finally, UFC 254 has a pair of ladies bouts. First up, both in the flyweight division, by the way. Okay, first up, Liana Jojua coming in 8-3, taking on Miranda Maverick coming in 7-2. Jojua coming in off of a win over Diana Belbita via submission due to armbar 3 months ago. Before that, coming in off a loss via TKO to Sarah Morris up at bantamweight. That was a little over a year ago. Maverick coming in off of a decision win over Pearl Gonzalez 8 months ago. Before that, had a submission win over Deanna Bennett in the finals of the Phoenix Series 2 tournament in Invicta. Let's see. Jojua is the elder fighter by 2 years, 25 to Maverick's 23. Looks like Jojua is slightly taller, 5 feet 4 inches, 162 centimeters to Maverick's 5 feet 3 inches, 160 centimeters. However, Maverick's going to have a reach advantage, 63 inches, 165 centimeters to Jojua's listed 62 inches, 157 centimeters. I'm going with Miranda Maverick on this one. She's more well-rounded. Jojua's striking is just not there, at all. She's mostly a submission grappler, whereas Maverick is pretty well-rounded, has decent striking, but is very strong with her wrestling and submissions on the ground. That's why I got to go with Miranda Maverick here. In fact, is there any odds on this? Topology is listing her Maverick as a moderate favorite at -360, with Jojua being a +285 moderate underdog. So, yeah, not really a big odds guy, but I definitely agree with those. And then finally on that card, also at flyweight, Lauren Lucky Murphy taking on Lilia Shakarova. Murphy coming in 13-4, Shakarova coming in at 8-1. Both are coming in off of 3-fight win streaks, so both coming in with some momentum. Shakarova, though, hasn't fought since a year ago and is coming in on very short notice. Murphy coming in off of a decision win over Roxanne Modafferi 3 months ago. Don't have an age listed for Shakarova. I think she's 27. Murphy is definitely going to be the elder fighter, though, at 37 years of age. Murphy has 1 inch of height, 5 feet 5 inches, 165 centimeters, to Shakarova's 5 feet 4 inches, 163 centimeters. No reach listed for Shakarova. Murphy is listed at 68 inches, 173 centimeters. So Shakarova's coming in on barely a week notice, very late, because of Cynthia Calvillo, Murphy's original opponent, coming down with COVID-19. I got to go with Murphy on this one. You know, both of these fighters are fairly well-rounded. You know, none of them really excel in any particular area. But Murphy's coming in more prepared. She also has an endless gas tank, which, you know, taking on a short notice opponent, that could really hurt Shakarova there. If she hasn't been training very good, if her cardio is not up to snuff, I feel that the gas tank is definitely going to carry Murphy through this fight. So I'm going with Lauren Murphy to win. I don't know about finish. Most likely by decision, though. Alright, so that is it for this weekend's upcoming fights. Also, that's it for this episode. So let me know your thoughts on anything we just went over in the comments down below. Of course, if you liked the video, please give it a like and share it as well. And while you're at it, what are you waiting for? Subscribe to WMMA Scene Now, the most complete women's mixed martial arts dedicated platform on YouTube. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.